What's up? Welcome to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow, your storyteller for today, and with me I have some RPG horror stories. A comment asked about if there are going to be any other characters featured on Tales Tomorrow. I was thinking of bringing in one of my other players from my D&D campaign, where I'm a player at, and see if maybe I can have some friends along. Maybe my artificer buddy that I started D&D with, or a druid that I know. They'll just play D&D, they're not like a storyteller or anything like that, so I'll see what they think, but I mean, no promises, no guarantees. Anyway, let's get to the very first story for today. Player kills a whole town with an M16. Whoa, okay, that's a really intense title. So I was a player in this campaign, and the problem player in question had done things the DM past campaign, like ripping the balls off of the BBEG. Story for another day. What? This is starting off so out of pocket. What? Back on topic from here on out, I will call him Ripper. Don't call him Ripper. Ugh. In this campaign, it was a pirate homebrew, and I was playing a tiefling rogue. I forgot what the others played, but we will call them Captain, Navigator, Sail, Support, and finally the most important, GM. It began with a guy making a crew from his ship, so the party joined his crew and almost immediately engaged the Royal Navy in battle, so we destroyed our ship and two of theirs. Once we got everything settled, we took the last ship arriving at the island where the NPC we sailed with turned out to be a former prince whose kingdom was taken over. When we arrived at a town, we all scattered. I went to the job board and Ripper was stealing and killing with the help of Sail. Once we left the island, we sailed before we got swallowed by a storm. Support and Navigator washed up on the abandoned fort. During this, I, Ripper, and the others, plus the NPC, got sent to a white void of existence. And I will admit I did do similar stuff to a problem player, and I will gladly out myself as someone who is a rules lawyer at times and a problem player, but I will also say I have tried being better. During this, we saw Death incarnate, and I yelled for Death to leave us alone, but with a bit more language and got a natural 20, so once we appeared on the island, we had built a little raft and set sail before we fell into a pit, ending up in the future. Had to fight demons on abandoned Earth until we fell through the same hole. This story is all over the place, what? In the moments where you click on a story and go like, oh, I wonder what this is about. Killing a whole town with M16s? Okay, well that's weird. I didn't realize it was gonna be like this level of crazy. Oh my god, it's wild. Ending with us having M16s during times when people fought with muskets, and we landed in a town of the kingdom we fought against. Ripper saw people and began shooting everyone that wasn't us, leading to the DM to have a small breakdown, and that ended the session. For some context, the DM and Ripper are brothers, so Ripper knew D&D meant a lot to the DM, but still chose to go all murder hobo. But that's all, and I probably made a scene over spilled milk, but it has happened and nothing can fix that. I genuinely had no idea that a story, posted on D&D Horror Story, would end with a player reenacting No Russian Mission from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's a weird sentence to say. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. I don't have much to say. This is just, I'm flabbergasted. Like, actually, unironically flabbergasted. Don't play with your brother. Don't play with the Ripper. Don't let the Ripper rip off nuts of BBG. Why would you do that? Don't play with your brother. That's all I'll say. Let's get to the next story. GM ruins game, then friendship. This happened about 2 years ago. My best friend, who we'll call Apollo, was workshopping a new homebrew campaign. It was this super-powered space traveling journey with a big bad robot taking over worlds. While he was workshopping the world, the rest of the party was workshopping characters to fit in this world. My character was tech-based and could weakly mimic other people's powers. My weaknesses were EMPs and hacking mostly. The robots were immune to these. My friend, who we'll call Puppy, made a telekinetic character. She didn't have a big weakness but had limited power use and was mostly a pacifist. Puppy's brother joined the campaign and he was the magic caster. He made a deal with a demon so that he could send out the demon, like that My Hero Academia. I actually finished watching My Hero Academia not long ago with a friend. I think Tokuyami? Is that the name? Yeah, Tokuyami, the Birdman with like a shadow demon bird thing attached to him. While Puppy and her brother were in very early on, Apollo and I spent the most time workshopping together, fleshing out strengths and weaknesses for the enemies and PCs. Honestly, going into it, I was worried my character was going to be the weakest one. When we started, that definitely was the case, but not in a bad way. The campaign went very successfully for a solid 3 to 4 full-day sessions. It was a ton of fun. I served as the upgrade guy for the team, and everyone had their own special niche that made us a very well-balanced team. That was until the DM decided to force 2 DMPCs on our team. As you'd expect, they were better than us in every way. They were android characters, so my tech gimmick got nerfed to hell. This caused some arguments about who gave them the authority to be on our ship. Puppy was the only one who didn't hate these characters, so she didn't mind them staying, but realized it's unfair to count us out like that. We decided the best way to settle who gets to be in charge of the ship was having a 1v1 until one character won. I ended up winning by a singular lucky dice roll and said that we kick them out of the ship. An important side note is that we play TTRPGs under the rule set if you can do anything you can logically explain to the DM, with the Apollo adding the additional rule that Nat 1 is a critical fail, but Nat 20 meant nothing besides a higher number. Out of nowhere, the DMPCs start hijacking our ship and forcing us into hibernation for 20 years in universe. Not only did this mean all my tech no longer worked, but this separated us from everything we had played with so far. You know, the story started off really nice, and then the NPCs got introduced, and it could have been nice, there could have been a good addition, but the fact that they're completely cutting off the players from any sort of story relevance, freezing them for 20 years and making them completely disconnected from everything else they were involved in, that's terrible. That's horrible. Why is the DM doing this? When we woke up from hibernation, Apollo announced that Puppy was the new leader, and that we had 2 full-tech cargo bays that my character was hiding from the group. This came as a shock to everybody, including myself, as I made sure to share as much as I could. This all concluded with Apollo locking myself and Puppy's brother in our ship for an entire session because we didn't say we were going with Puppy, we will only have the one pod. Mind you, we have never played with that kind of rule set. It's always assumed we travel as a group, unless explicitly said otherwise. I ended up confronting Apollo during my break, and at the time he gave the response that he felt I was pushing back against the story. What was actually happening is Apollo was crushing on Puppy, and was jealous that all the time Puppy and I were trapped with a one-day sort of deal. I only know this because after another year of not only trying to play TTRPGs with Apollo, but also trying to repair our suddenly broken friendship, did he reveal it. Side note, Apollo and I planned on going to Pride together for years, but for years it kept falling through for reasons out of our control. He invited Puppy and didn't mention it to me. Wait a minute, is the DM actually like having some sort of weird pseudo-jealousy over a TTRPG game? Bruh, it's characters. I mean, yeah, players can obviously develop feelings for one another, and DMs and players can also develop people are people and stuff, but like, it's just kind of weird. Why do you ruin a game over jealousy, over assuming that like, will they one day kind of thing? Nothing is set up on the table. And even if somebody got together, are you really going to ruin the game because of jealousy, or because somebody got together or they didn't get together with you and stuff? What? Are you serious? This horror story is not done though. Tried playing a new campaign where I was the DM and Apollo and my partner were the players. It was a Save the Galaxy quest, where Apollo was the son of God and my partner was a train-hopping fish person. He refused to listen to any descriptions or even what his character knows about yet. He literally hopped in front of a train, not knowing he was the son of God. He tried to flee the planet so fast I didn't even establish the plot hook yet, so Apollo's dad/God died next to my partner instead of him. This pattern continued until he lobotomized a beloved NPC, then killed an entire train car, and after that I just got up and left. My partner and I still together and play TTRPGs together all the time. Apollo only got worse for a while there, trigger warning SA. He eventually befriended my assaulter and their friend. I tried mending it more, but he would only show up if Puppy was there, and I wasn't quite comfy talking about SA in front of Puppy yet. P.S. I know you stalk my Reddit. Used to be my best friend. WTF happened to you? These things are not absolutes. You can still have a healthy relationship with somebody and still have a crush and pursue somebody else. That's completely fine. That's a-okay. I don't understand why Apollo's making this a big deal. But you know what? At this point, OP, I feel like you might have dodged a bullet. It seems like Apollo seems to have very skewed priorities in life. So, I mean, you'll find other people out there. Just have fun playing with your partner. Maybe meet your partner's friends, not deal with Apollo. If you already tried mending things and nothing is working and Apollo's only obsessed with Puppy, then let them be obsessed with Puppy. It feels weird saying puppy. Puppy, 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 puppy. I hate saying the word puppy. It sounds weird. I don't hate the word puppy. I just hate that I have to say puppy, 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 puppy all the time. You know how weird it's gonna, you know how bad it's gonna sound on a microphone when I'm editing? Anytime I say like P's and stuff, it just, you know, skyrockets in the editing. And with that, that's gonna be all our stories for today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and thanks so much for being here. If you like what I do, consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like. Also, if the RPG Horror Stories ever goes down, or if you want to submit your own personalized horror story, email is down in the description below. I'll see you again in more Tales Tomorrow. Bye-bye.